Hello, welcome to the channel. After an exciting day rafting, we left Futaleufu under fine skies and retraced our steps back to Route 7 and the Careterra Austral, passing the southern end of Lago Yelcho on the way. The Futaleufu River drains into this lake. The scenery was once again magnificent, with sky blue lakes and glaciated mountains taking centre stage. The highway crosses the Rio Yelcho over a spectacular bridge at Puerto Cardenas, which drains the lake at the northern end and flows into the Pacific Ocean just south of our destination for the day at Chaiten. We stopped to fly the drone and admire the glaciers above the valley. I suffered a moment of embarrassment whilst making a U-turn, overbalancing at slow speed and dropping the fully laden bike. Clarice wasn't on board, and when she realised what had happened, came to the rescue to help lift the bike. No damage done. The valley here is stunning, and shortly after we stopped once more at Rio Mishimahuida and flew the drone again. We arrived in Chaiten early and quickly settled into our accommodation. It was a blue sky day, but we rested for a while, intending to go walking at sunset and photograph the nearby Corcovado volcano, but found it covered in cloud when the time came. We strolled down to the waterfront, ate at a restaurant, then explored for a while as the sun set over the Pacific Ocean. Chaiten was founded in 1933, but was evacuated on the 2nd of May 2008 when the nearby Chaiten volcano erupted. The town was completely flooded on the 12th when a lahar burst the banks of the river and changed its course. The government decided to abandon the town, but the locals came back to resettle, and the current population stands at about 4,000. The next day's ride to Puerto Montt was to be long and tiring, with 3 ferry crossings to negotiate. We left Chaiten early, thinking that the first ferry was at 8 AM, but we were mistaken and ended up having to wait 2 to 3 hours before the ferry departed. That one took about 30 minutes to make the crossing, and it was only a short ride of about 10 kilometres to the next departure point at Ep11. The Hornopirin ferry was late arriving, and we had another long wait, but we eventually departed for the crossing of about 4 hours. I spent most of the time above deck, snapping dozens of photos as the mountain scenery slowly passed us by. By the time we arrived at Hornopiran, the weather had changed to rain showers, so we didn't linger, only stopping for fuel. Arriving at the next ferry, I earned the scorn of a woman marshal by overtaking all the waiting cars to get to the front where the other bikes were waiting. I figured that they could fit us on without anyone in a car being inconvenienced, so after being told to do a U-turn and go to the back of the line, I did another U-turn and went to the front anyway. It was only a short trip to the other side, and we joined a long queue behind a camper van that had a driver who wasn't interested in using the rear view mirrors and pulling over. We passed eventually and arrived in Puerto Montt as night was falling and heavy rain had set in. We ended up with a room a long way from the bike parking, and it took a while to get all the bags off the bike and into the room. By this stage we were hungry. It was after 9 p.m. and we walked down to the local Domino's to buy a pizza. They were busy and their service was dismal, the pizza taking an hour to arrive and of very average quality. We didn't have time to see or do anything in Puerto Montt, as we only had 2 days to get to Santiago for a new chain, sprockets and a new rear tyre. I would have liked to have stayed longer to explore the local lakes and volcanoes Calbuco and Osorno. Next time maybe. That's it for this video. See you in the next one, where our camera was stolen at Linares and we suffer a breakdown on reaching Santiago.